3, 2, 1. You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is The Real Pineapple. This is Hunter here, and I'm here with a frequent contributor to the show. You can catch him on his own podcast on SoundCloud, the KJ and OJ Show. I was just on there helping them review First Class, Days of Future Past, and The Wolverine. Which was a fucking blast to do earlier today. That was so much fun. OJ, how are you, sir?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. It's been a day.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So one thing about The Real Pineapple, we're also about healing too, because this podcast really did start off as my therapy when I was just going through a dark time. That's what the genesis of this was just a platform for me to kind of get some frustrations out. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to count you down. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. So people, spoilers ahead for the series finale of Game of Thrones. So I'm going to give OJ 3 minutes exactly because he's got some thoughts on this, and I want to give him a platform to go ahead and just vent his frustrations a little bit. Let us know what he liked, what he didn't like. So, Game of Thrones series finale, full spoilers are completely valid. All right, OJ, go.
I'll sum it up very quickly, actually, because it's not just the series finale. It's kind of just basically the moment they ran out of source material in terms of them surpassing the books, the show took a fucking gradual but steady decline. And this season was the culmination of that decline. I don't really like a lot of the way things were handled in the last 2 episodes. And this is a real disappointment for a final season for such a good show, or what was a good show. But I think, again, once they passed the books, that's when the decline happened.
So does this drop this out of a top 10 favorite shows ever for you this season?
Absolutely.
Does it, man?
Yep. It's good. It's damn good. First half of the series is fucking excellent. But
so I think you set up. So I don't watch Game of Thrones. I know I said that. I know. Yeah, I know. I don't. Yeah, because that is one thing I get. I do get from people. It's like, you don't watch it. Yes, I know. Fuck. I know. I get it. But you think about bad series finales. I mean, Dexter immediately comes to mind. It's one of the worst series finales ever. How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, that one. I haven't watched Dexter, but I've watched How I Met Your Mother, and that shit was terrible.
Well, I remember Alf's was really dark. You remember that? You got caught by the government. I was like, holy shit. I was like, as a kid, I was like, ah. And then they actually went back and did that TV movie because people were so... Yeah, people were like, what the fuck? Okay, Quantum Leap is one of the saddest ones still to this day. So... as a fellow nerd, I was telling people, look, I hope you get what you wanted. And unfortunately, looking through Twitter, it looks like a lot of people did not get what they wanted.
Yeah, there was, it was just the wrong people, I don't know, man. There's too much to go over. I don't want to spoil anything because I do want people to, all right.
So, I'd be curious to get people's thoughts in the comments, so please tweet at me. I won't watch Game of Thrones probably anytime soon. It'll be like Breaking Bad. I'll just randomly start watching it 3 years after it's over and be like, oh, this is good. I get why people like it so much. So, I mean...
The last thing I do want to say,
yeah.
I do think in 10 years, if both of the last 2 books are out by then, they will remake the show and do it a lot more faithful to the books.
Okay.
That's just a prediction.
That's fair. Well, we are talking about something that we both thought at least was good. So me and OJ, we go to movies together usually once a month. We have a little bro date, and I was like, hey, I was gonna go see Jonn Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum on Thursday night, and I had a long day at work. I was like, so I was like, you know what? I'll go see it on Friday. So told OJ we should go. He was like, yeah, I'm down. And we got a blood spattering knife throwing, horse kicking, hell of a good time watching this movie.
That's I like that. That's appropriate.
Thanks. Like this movie, so we talk about trilogies all the time. I mean, I still think my favorite one's probably Back to the Future still, but so right now it's like Back to the Future, Captain America trilogy, Planet of the Apes trilogy. Like those are like my top three. And I'll be honest, I'm tempted to put Back to the Future on the bottom because I just love that Cap trilogy, but I love that Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy. It had no right to be as great as it was.
And it was great.
It's a great series of films. It's probably the last great acting job Franco had. James Franco.
Yeah.
I mean, because he, like, that first movie, you're like, oh my god, this is James fucking Franco. How's he? Like,
and he's not just James fucking Franco. I mean, like, the supporting cast around him just makes his character that much better. Like, the interaction he has with his, is it his uncle? I don't think it's his actual dad, or...
well, are you talking about John Lithgow?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that's his dad.
Oh, it is his dad?
Yeah.
But still, though, the natural interaction between Lithgow and Franco is really great in that. So... You know, like that definitely does contribute to that.
True, but this trilogy though, so I gave the first one a fan-fucking-tastic because the first one was such a surprise. You know, like it came from nowhere. I remember people saying you need to review Jonn Wick. I was like, why? I'm like, it's Keanu in an action movie, and I'll be honest, I was very still sore on a 47 Ronin because I thought that was going to be great, and it wasn't. I was like, well, damn it, Keanu, you lied to me. So I was gun-shy on Keanu a little bit. I was like, I don't know. And yeah, you get the fact that you get the whole story of Keanu being a former assassin. His wife dies of cancer. She leaves him this adorable puppy to love and move on. And then it's the guy from the fucking from Shameless, right? The Joker. Oh no, he looks like him. He's not. No, it's not that actor. But you get this snot-nosed little kid.
He's in Game of Thrones, I think. Fucking.
Is he?
Yeah, he's fucking. Oh, what's his name? Oh, God. Not Euron Greyjoy, but he's also Reek. Or that's his, like, co-name. Oh, good lord, this is going to drive me nuts now.
Let me see if I can find it. Alfie Allen?
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay, let's see.
Good lord.
Game of Thrones.
Theon Greyjoy. There we go.
There you go.
Theon.
There you go. Got it?
Yeah.
Feel better? All right,
yes, much better.
Good. But, that snot-nosed little asshole kills his dog, and Jonn Wick just goes on this insane hunt to just go ahead and just kill this little fucker. And the body count in the first one is pretty damn high. Great cameo, basically, by Kevin Nash, by the way, who was in it. He had a good scene with Keanu. I was like, oh, all right, Kevin Nash, go ahead, man.
Well, he was big sexy.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get to John Wick Chapter 2. You get Lawrence Fishburne added as Bowery King. Ian McShane's Winston is more of a presence. And basically, where Chapter 2 ended is... John Wick had, been out of the game, killed this kid, gets brought back into the whole assassin's life. Then, in the second movie, this asshole who had a blood oath blood pact, like a blood oath with John, goes, oh yeah, you know how I helped you get out of this? Well, now I need a favor. And sends him on this mission that is definitely going to get him, pissing off the wrong people. And he's just like, no, I'm good. And he goes, oh. All right, it's really cute. You think you have you have a say in the matter, but he basically double crosses John Wick, and it's a fucked up way he does it too. But it leads to an amazing. I don't know if you remember, but that train fight scene with Common.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was some shit. I was like, oh my god, this is so great. So each movie in the action department has just ramped up, and dude, I gotta say, the action in this. It's the best of the series. It's the most varied as far as the fights. And this movie starts off intense and it never lets up.
No, that's absolutely true. It doesn't know a first or a second gear, man. It just fucking goes. And you know what? The thing that just blows my mind, too, is that it's not so those old kung fu flicks back in the day, the body count, was exceptionally
Yeah.
high, you just tear through all the all the sword wielding dudes with like 1 or 2 slashes and that's it. Jonn Wick is like in knockdown, drag out fights with like 2 or 3 at a time, and these fights don't end with 1 or 2 shots. It's repeated until he gets a death blow, you know. And I really enjoyed that about this. Yeah.
This movie, it's like playing one of those Arkham time trials where you just get wave after wave after wave of guy to see how long you can go.
Yep.
Because Jonn Wick, they reveal in the movie that the first 2 movies took place over a couple weeks. You're like, damn, he's having a rough month. Oh my god, like, this would be the shittiest month ever. But they something that they do that I really appreciate about this is that you get just a little more backstory on Jonn Wick and how he grew up. It's basically the Black Widow origin, honestly.
Yeah.
Like he went to this school of, I mean, you say art, but art / assassins.
Yeah.
And they don't come out and say he did ballet, but they do imply it just in the way he moves and everything. I went, okay, he might have done a little ballet, and they cut to these room full of wrestling mats, and these kids are just throwing each other like it's nothing. I was like, oh my god, that's fucking horrifying.
And they even reference like the old memories, John, and shit like that.
Yeah, but you can see how the wrestlers are rolling and stuff. You're like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense for how John fights.
Yep.
And that's the director played by Angelica Houston, which was a trip to see her in this. It's like, oh, okay.
She was really good.
Yeah, she was really good. Just enough of a bitch. I was like, damn. Like God, no one's giving John credit. So
the way she kept checking the ballerina.
Dude, yeah, that was some Black Swan shit, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like you're watching it, you're like, fuck, this is uncomfortable.
That poor girl.
Yeah, man. They do show a ballerina ripped her toenail off, and I was like,
ooh, yeah.
Me and OJ here both was like, shit, all right. So what I appreciate about this movie is that it picks up directly after the second, and it does feel like actually it plays out in real time as far as like the 15 minutes that he has before the world is after him, and the way they do it, it's so creepy. The way they do it, it's kind of like that movie. This is so random. You remember that movie, The Skulls? Do you remember that movie?
I never saw it.
Never saw. Okay, so it's kind of like that for like this secret organization, and you just see the dominoes starting to fall, and he's like, oh shit, and so he gets shot walking down the street, like to start off with. But before that, he has this fight in a library with I can't remember the NBA player.
He's on. What the hell team is he on? Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts now.
Yeah, I'm googling it because
He's a nice guy.
Boban Marjanovic.
Yeah, who's he playing on is what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I do not know. But yeah, keep going. I'll look this up. But yeah, that you get that fight scene. Sixers. There you go.
Oh, Philadelphia 76ers.
All right, there we go.
He's great in that first fucking fight.
He is horrifying. Like, so basically, John's trying to find refuge, and because he gets shot, so he's trying to go ahead and get to like a.
How tall is he?
He's 7'3". Good grief!
And you see the difference,
Yeah.
Like there's those shots where you're looking over John's shoulder and like he's taking up the rest of the screen.
They do a lot of wide shots with him just to see, so you can see like the actual difference between the height and Keanu's not a small guy. Keanu's like 5'10". I want to say something like that.
I don't know.
But. You see him. So this guy goes. Oh yeah. Well, you got 15 minutes left. You're gonna die anyway. Like, what's the difference in me doing it here or you getting killed later? And he gives John an ass whooping. Ernest is the name of his character. He whips John's ass, but John, throwing him into like bookshelves and shit. I was like, oh my god. And there's this point where he just clubs him like a seal, and I was like, oh my god, he just clubs Jonn Wick in the back, and we both went, oh, like, shit, okay. And so John uses a book to just pop this guy in the face. He breaks his jaw using the book.
Keanu was 6'1", by the way.
Thank you. But yeah, he breaks the guy's jaw using a book, kicks it, like punches him and kicks him in the dick. Like, it is a brutal fight. It's the first one, and then he gets chased into this barn by these other people, by this other group. Might have been like a Yakuza knockoff, or might have been a Yakuza, but they chase him to this barn, which is where we get to see a horse kick someone in the face twice.
Not just, but it's like not like a little kick either. It's like both of the back legs up off. It's a mule kick from a fucking horse.
Yeah,
like it's straight up, bow. Like, oh man, that was brutal.
And I'll be honest, the CG didn't look great with the horses, but you know what? Just for the effect of what was happening, I'm like, I can let that slide. Because, yeah, like, you can definitely tell, like, PETA's on the set now. Like, don't use real horse. A
horse would do the kicking, though.
Yeah, bitch, all these rules, but...
There is one thing I do want to talk about, though, Hunter.
Go ahead.
The dogs.
Dude, okay, so Halle Berry's character, Sophia, she has these two dogs. I do not remember the dogs' names, but they almost stole the movie, period. These dogs are, like...
badasses.
It's like Crypto got cloned. I was like, oh my god.
And gained an edge.
Yeah. No, because these dogs are going for the ball sack. Not even the balls, but the ball sack. And they're not just biting, they're biting and ripping. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I definitely closed my legs a little bit multiple times with those dogs.
But they were straight whooping some ass and taking some names. Like, man's best friend all the way. I fucking loved it.
And you got to talk about Halle Berry, man. I thought, so, I feel like on your guys' podcast the last couple months, I've been just been bashing Halle Berry. Because we've been reviewing the X-Men films. And Halle Berry was a shit Storm. I don't care what anybody says. She's a terrible Storm. Not even close to as good as how Storm should be portrayed. Whatever. But I will say, though, I've seen her in some stuff. Like, she was really good in I thought she was good in Kingsman. She did this Amazon show called Extant, which actually I really enjoyed. I feel like I'm the only person probably fucking watched it, but yeah, I do like Halle Berry. So seeing her in this, I was like, oh, she's actually trying, and she looks amazing still. Can I just say, Halle Berry, I think, is in her 50s, and she looks like she can still get it. It kind of blows my mind, but
she can get it.
Yeah, exactly. But she did like most of her own stunts too. And she did a great job. I mean, her hand to hand, I was like, wow, okay. She has more of like a finesse style to her. But yeah, I really dug all the action stuff she did. I could have used a little more of her, to be honest.
I thought she was used just the right amount. This flick, like, she not only is her like hand to hand great, but her gunplay is fucking great too.
Yes, it is.
And that's something like I noticed a lot in this film was just the gunplay on both their ends was just absolutely killer stuff. I mean, John himself, you get so many long shots of like actual physical tussles that you forget about like all the double taps, like, and how smart he is too. Like, like those certain bad dudes that had the extra armor and he had to like pop them in the neck.
Yeah, that should get close enough to do close range.
Yeah, like, and she had to do the same thing too, and she had her dogs by her side.
Yeah, her Sophia's dogs alone were just amazing. I will say too, not just the action, but the different types of action. So you get a chase scene with Keanu on a horse with these Yakuza guys.
You want to say it one more time? Keanu on a what?
On a horse. Like, you get Jonn Wick on a horse fighting guys on motorcycles. I was like, what is happening? And almost falls off the horse. I was like, whoa, easy, John. Take it easy, Wilbur. But scared the hell out of me. I was like, Keanu, that's how you break your neck, man. But and can we just say, man, Keanu Reeves, man, just to do all the stunt work, he could have easily had a stunt person do all this shit. But Keanu was like, nah, I'm gonna do it myself. I give that man
a man.
I give that man so much credit for that shit. And just so between the horse chase scene, you get You get a sword fight scene in here, which was awesome. You get there's so much in here, it's almost overwhelming. And I will say too, the movie, it's over 2 hours. I want to say it's
felt like about 2:15.
Yeah, I think we're right around there. And I'll be honest, it did not feel like it. Like, I was like, wow, that was just, it ended just like perfectly as far as the amount of time. It didn't overstay its welcome. I was like, yeah, this is, you know, this is how you do one of these. Yeah, the budget on it was 55 mil is what we're estimating. Yeah, so 2 hours, 10 minutes. So yeah, you're right there. So yeah, budget was 55 million. Apparently made 57 million just in US alone, so we're already off to a great start for it. Which good, because they definitely set this up for a fourth one. If they have to do a fourth one, like the way they said.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely, they have to do a fourth one.
Yeah, because the way this ends. So this is, I think, going to be our point of contention here. So. And I fully admit I might have been influenced because the last thing we saw him in was Hellboy. I liked Ian McShane in this. If I do have a complaint in the last third, he's not really doing shit. He's just sitting down like in the safe
with the dog.
Yeah. All right, so I mean, important. He's Jordan the dog, but he didn't really do anything until Keanu came back. There's like a 20-minute gap ish where he just kind of poofs. If that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think about Ian McShane?
So, Ian McShane, I felt like he was phoning it in personally. It came off very Hellboy-esque.
Okay.
But it was just enough, like, how do I put this? He would not have to put much effort in to get past Hellboy level.
Okay.
I felt like he was phoning it in a bit because he's kind of just sitting there with a brandy glass most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of chewing scenery, but
See, I personally think at the last part, and I'm going to just jump ahead here. So, basically, John's getting chased down, of course, by everyone because he's got the bounty gets up to $50 million bounty on his head. So, he goes overseas to Morocco, goes ahead and meets the head of the high table. The
person above the table, right?
Yeah, basically goes ahead and says, you know, I'm loyal to the table. And I guess to prove you're loyal to the table means cutting off part of your finger, which, oh my god.
Was not expecting that.
That, when he put his hand out, I was like, don't do anything. Oh my god, cut off his finger. Like, that shit. I was definitely, like, flexing my hand. I was like, alright.
And even the one with his wedding ring, and you know how much his wife meant to him.
Yeah, and then he just takes the ring, throws it in his pocket, and he's like, thanks. I was like, wow.
And then they cauterize it.
Yeah, yeah, that was, like, unpleasant.
He could be Jerry Garcia now. Fun fact, Jerry was missing part of the finger.
What?
Yep.
Right. Huh.
On his fret hand.
More you know. So, what I will say is, yeah, Ian McShane, towards the end, he does get a little bit more to do. He double crosses Jonn in a way. I was like, you're an asshole.
Yeah. I kind of thought he was playing him for a second, like it was a big ruse and Jonn was going to be fine. But
that's what I was thinking too.
But nah, he was kind of just a dick.
Yeah, so basically Jonn, because he shot the guy at the end of the second one, now he's got this chick played by Asia Kate Dillon, the
Abdicator.
Thank you. Okay, she has the biggest hard-on for Jonn. She just wants to kill this dude so bad.
Actually, I think the other dude has a bigger hard-on for Jonn.
Yeah, you know what? That's a fair point.
And he's fun. He is fun.
Yeah, a doctor played by Randall Duke Kim.
Oh no, I meant the guy who cuts him down, or who's after him to kill him. Fucking Zero, I think his name is.
Is that not him?
No, that's not him. Scroll up.
We go with full cast here.
Scroll towards the top. The guy who's constantly chasing him down, Zero, Mark Dacascos.
Maybe. Yeah.
Higher.
Oh, Zero? Is that him?
That's him.
Zero, yeah.
That dude is great. Mark Dacascos is awesome.
He's amazing. So he plays it off like he's a huge fan of Jonn Wick. He's like, oh my god, like it's such an honor just to fight you. I've been a huge fan. But he wants to kill him, too, because he is such a big fan. Like, it's weird how that works. Like,
nobody kills you but me. He says that.
Yeah. He saves Jonn from potentially getting killed because he wants to be the one to kill him. And in a weird way, I was like, oh, it's kind of sweet that you like Jonn that much. But their fight, oh my god, their fight is amazing. Dude, that's like some Tekken shit. Like, I was so happy watching that fight. And that's like a good, solid 8-minute fight, too. Just straight up hand to hand and knives. I'm like, yeah, like this is great. One thing I kind of like that the movie does, it feels like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Jonn is taking on these two guys at the end of the movie, and he goes like, oh, like, he's like, oh, he's slower. You know, he's like, oh, it's been 5 years. Kind of like, Keanu's been doing this for, a few years, and Keanu's like, up, and John's like, up, fuck this, and just beats these guys down. This has some of the most creative kills, too, for me.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, the different amount of ways people just get killed and shot and decapitated and burned. It's like, oh my god. Like, there's a lot of violent shit in this movie. So if you are squeamish, there's some headshots in here. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, there is a true... and I think this is like Frank Miller at his best, man. There's just an artistry to Frank Miller's violence when you read it in a graphic novel, and you just go, "Oh my god!" It's amazing. That's why I felt watching this. It was like almost like a moving painting the way that the violence was depicted. It's brutal, and I appreciate too that that Jonn is not. He's John McClane. He's hurt. Like, you see him get cut up, faces, the
scene in the beginning where he's like getting stitched up by the doctor who like has to stop when the contract goes live. Like he like finishes it off himself and does it a real dirty sort of way. Like it's not fully stitched up right and shit. So could get infected, could make him worse. Who knows?
Yeah,
he's not He's not immortal. He's not Wolverine.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yet.
Dude, I would not mind that. I'm just saying.
He flat out said if he was going to play anybody, he would want to be Wolverine.
Yeah, Keanu could bulk up a little bit.
He's old though, bro.
I know, but look at the way he's still moving though. I think you can get 2 moves out of him. I think you can.
You would want more than that though.
Yeah. Stunt person. No, it's fine.
Get a stunt person. That would be funny.
I would totally be okay with that. But I'll say in closing, as far as complaints, I mean, like I said, I think we agree that Ian McShane at points was a little derp. I really like Lance Reddick as a Sharon, who's or Sharon. He's the black dude, the black bald dude, who's kind of like the concierge.
Yeah. He's awesome as well. He was very, like, he provided, like, a deadpan comic relief right when you didn't think you needed it in the shot, and it ended up working really well. I liked him a lot. I thought, badass.
There's a scene where Jonn and Sophia go to basically find out about the high table, and the motherfucker they're talking to shoots one of Sophia's dogs, and I was like, oh, crap! I freaked out, OJ will tell you. And the movie did a great job by getting you on there, because it's like, oh, they killed the dog again, fuck, and nah.
Dude, yeah, that was fucked up. Ooh.
But the dogs had vests on, and then Sophia shoots the guy, and Jonn goes, I get it. And I was like, because unfortunately that happened to you. I thought the humor actually worked really well here. I mean, it's not like slapstick, like, but I got chuckles out of a lot of the jokes that they had. I was like, okay, these are hitting more often than not. Kind of wrapping up here, getting to my final thoughts. I had so much fun with this, and I have admiration, like I true admiration for this film. Director Chad, I'm gonna butcher this, Stahelski. He's the director in the last 2 Jonn Wick films as well. I'd love to see what this guy could do with like Titans, like a.
I see what you're saying.
Like an action heavy sort of Dude, if Marvel's gonna reboot Iron Fist, man, I would totally try to get this guy to be the showrunner because he like, damn, the way the action is shot, it's just other level. And the fact that Keanu again does most of his own stunts, it really shows here because you don't see any quick cuts or anything. You can see everything very clearly because Keanu's doing all of it. So,
you know what I'd like to see that director tackle instead of Iron Fist? Daredevil.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
If I can let him do both, that'd be. but yeah, it's just a matter of time till DC or Marvel come running like, hey, like,
you do this really well.
Yeah, how about? I mean, I'm just saying, man, he could be that. I hope for this guy because I love the first two Jonn Wick films. I hope he gets to that Russo brothers level where he just starts making hits across the board and it's like, okay, this guy needs to be recognized. I hope that happens for him. I gave the first Jonn Wick a fan-fucking-tastic. I gave Chapter 2 a fan-fucking-tastic. And, yeah, man, despite a few qualms, my just admiration for this movie. And by the end, it resets the whole franchise. And there will be a fourth one. Do not misunderstand. A fourth one is a-coming. And it can't get here soon enough. So,
and it's coming quick.
Yeah, I think we'll have it in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because it seems like they shoot these pretty quick, and then they shot the last one like 5 months. Like, they get these out. So
because Keanu's got what next? Bill and Ted, and I think that's all I really know that he's got coming up.
Yeah, so I think, I think we'll get Jonn Wick 4,
2021,
maybe early 2022, maybe. Yeah, I'll say early 2022.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. God, they're so good though. They're so good.
Yeah, man. I gotta give it a fan-fucking-tastic. I will say I had as much enjoyment in the action as I did for Avengers. Honestly, for what this was, I could not have thought of better action. And each action scene is long too. You never feel like you're shortchanged on an action scene. Like they are very well choreographed and well thought out, and each one's different. So yeah, fan-fucking-tastic for me. OJ, your final thoughts on Grade 3?
It's rare. It's really rare to pull off action that well and make it look that good in so many ways for so long as it is in the movie.
Yeah.
That's a technical marvel alone. And, the plot, I do recommend watching the first two as a refresher before you go see the third one.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of that, because I got a little confused right out of the gate, I'm like, wait, what the fuck's going on? So because of that, I can't really give it a fan-fucking-tastic, but I'm going to give it an A+.
Alright, that's fair. Yeah, because it was funny because he asked, like, what's going on? And then I kind of left. I was like, oh, yeah, that is what happened. It was almost like my brain went to autopilot. Like, right. Oh, okay.
Right. So, just because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I do agree, though. If you refresh, you'll be able to appreciate shit more. I'm going to go see this again before it leaves theaters. I'll probably do a $5 Tuesday with this, but yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this. So, yeah. And it took down Avengers, so congrats to Keanu and everyone who worked on Jonn Wick Chapter 3. You all deserve it.
He put a bullet in Thanos' head.
There you go. Yeah, see, that's all they needed. If they had Jonn Wick, he would
have been over.
Yeah, God, he wouldn't even assemble the gauntlet.
Right, seriously.
Keanu's... I just think of Keanu as like a Ultimate Universe version of Hawkeye. That would just that's one thing I don't think he has used as a weapon is a bow and arrow.
Yet.
Yeah, I think that's 4. Watch, he'll be an archer.
He'll be on a motorcycle and use a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
If he's on a horse and using guns, it's the other way around in the next one.
That's fair. But guys, what did you think of Jonn Wick Chapter 3? Let us know in the comments below. OJ, sir, you got stuff to talk about, so please tell us where they can find your podcast and your Twitch and all that.
Yeah, so you can find me on my own personal Twitter at the O to the J. That is the letter THE, the letter O, number 2, the J. That is the O to the J. You can find the podcast that I do with my teammate KJ. You can find our show On the Fly over at, you can find us collectively on Twitter at KJ and OJ spelled out. That's at KJANDOJ. You can find us on SoundCloud for our show On the Fly. And my Twitch stream is twitch.tv/O to the J.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, guys, and I know I mentioned it earlier, but I was on there for their latest 3 episodes. I reviewed X-Men First Class, The Wolverine, and Days of Future Past with them. It was an absolute blast. We always have fun when we do these crossovers. So check those reviews out. Get caught up with Dark Phoenix with them. Guys, thank you so much for listening. This upcoming week we will have reviews for a new Aladdin movie, which it's ironic you're flying out of town, though, then I have to go see.
Not sorry about that.
Yeah, that's how bad you want to get out of town. You're like,
I'm going back east. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping that one.
I couldn't get a flight out to Antarctica, so the far east will have to do.
Oh my god, dude!
But yeah, I'm not excited for Aladdin. But then we'll have a review as well for Brightburn, which I am excited for because that looks great. And by proxy, we'll probably get a better grade than Aladdin just because I won't be so irritated. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So I mean, that might be a huge benefit. I mean, it could just be okay, but C+, like whatever. But it's not Aladdin bad. But guys. You can go ahead and check us out on Facebook. Go ahead and give us a like at TheReelOneal. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can go ahead and find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud and Podbean at TheReelPineapple. Also, guys, starting next week, every Wednesday, I'm going to start doing our weekly news show called The Weekly Slice, hosted by yours truly. So this week we're going to talk about Robert Pattinson potentially being Batman. I'm going to make a case for why he is a great Batman, or could be a great Batman. So check that out on that'll be up Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Take care.